soldiers hit the buildings, I ain't no I'm boss. And when you catch
all the way up here.
Because the basement's creepy as hell, and I don't like standing around down there?
Fair. All right, let's run through this again. We have a creepy board you found in a creepy basement, made by our creepy janitor, who you think is the creepy whistling man.
Yep.
And on the creepy board are the names Chuck Brody, Kim Walker, Rebecca Allen, and Aunt Williams.
Correct.
And you think one of these people will be the whistling man's, Clive's, next target.
That's right. And we've got to find them.
You said there are 4 locations listed there too? The hospital, the power station, the gas station, and the trailer park. Clive must think the target is at one of those locations. Forrest, you're gonna have to figure out if any of the potential targets are at one of these locations tonight. Hit the button if you need any help. How's it going?
It's not going well. I could use some help.
Okay, let's review the basics. We need to work out who the next target is. There's 4 locations, right? And 4 people. We need to figure out if anyone is at any of the 4 locations tonight. And if they are, we can call them and warn them. There must be some connections between the notes.
That makes sense.
Great! Need any more help?
Yes, please.
Sure. I think you should be methodical with this. Try grouping the notes by who they're about. You could also have a look at the dates and make a timeline. Maybe that will help rule out potential targets first.
Got it. Thanks, Peggy.
No problem. How's it going?
I'm okay, thanks. I think I've almost got it.
Good luck. How's it going?
I'm ready, Peggy.
Are you sure? We've only got one shot at this.
I'm sure. Let's do this.
Okay, name first. Who do you think the target is?
Kim Walker.
And where will I find them?
The hospital.
Okay, I'm dialing. One moment. Forrest, I'm through to the hospital, but they say there isn't anyone by that name there.
What? Then who?
It sounds like something blew up.
He's using bombs now?
Oh my god. The call board, one moment. Forrest, I'm getting so many calls. Just let me... I'm gonna take us off air for a moment.
Peggy, what's happening in there? Peggy.
I'm back. He blew up the gas station, Forrest.
Okay.
I spoke to the fire department and the hospital. The fire department is useless now, as you know. And, the hospital's only ambulance was at the gas station. Forrest, you've got to say something on the radio. You have to tell the town. I'm putting us back on air. Now.
Gallows Creek, I don't know how to tell you this, but, the gas station's been bombed.
Please, everyone, stay safe, stay inside, and... Oh, just bring us into some music, Forrest?
Here's some music while we regroup here on KFAM 189.16, The Stream.
There's gotta be more in the basement to show us who Clive is targeting. And if that's the case, we can get ahead of him. Stop the killings before they can happen. Forrest, we need to go back down.
By we, you mean me, right?
Yep. Like I said, I need to handle all these calls. Maybe start with that creepy mannequin room you mentioned before. I still have a lot of questions about those, by the way.
Me too. The key? Was this always here? I must have missed it when I brought everything upstairs. Peggy, give me some warning before yelling down the intercom?
Sorry. Buzz the intercom when you find something and want to discuss it.
Peggy, I've found a tape and a map down here.
A map of what?
Looks like it might be to somewhere in this storage area.
Weird. Well, maybe the tape will give us more information. Give it a play.
you're listening to this, then I'm probably dead.
What the?
I admit, I've got subscriptions to newspapers all over the country. A few weeks ago, I noticed headlines cropping up in those papers, one after the other. Each headline about a murder. Each murder, the death of someone I knew almost 20 years ago. And each one drawing closer to Gallows Creek. Drawing closer to the anniversary. None of us are innocent, but I don't think we deserve killing. All I hope now is that I can save some folk from the worst. That I can. I don't know. Do something to make up for what I did back then, I guess. I didn't kill anyone, mind you. But that's past mattering. Now, there's more I could say. That I should say. But my employer made it clear that my family would pay a high price if I ever spoke out. So, hopefully I've said enough for you, listener, whoever the hell you are, to start putting the truth together.
What the hell? Peggy is not gonna believe this.
Additionally, there appears to be a post-mortem injury to the arm. It looks like it was trapped in a car door. Preliminary toxicology results shows no signs of inebriation. However, a high amount of cortisol was found, indicating elevated levels of stress in the immediate moments before death. Small lacerations to arms, legs, and face, typically obtained by running through foliage. Severe blistering to the feet, as though the deceased had been running without stopping.
What have you found, Forrest?
It's an autopsy tape. Doesn't say for who, but I think it must be for George.
Poor George. He was so young.
Something's bugging me, Peggy.
What do you mean?
I swear I recognize the voice of the woman talking on the tape. I just can't place it.
Seriously? Do you think you've met her before?
I don't know. I mean, I just got here recently. I don't know. Found another tape. It talks more about how George died.
What did it say?
It sounds like he was running for his life. Sprinting through trees and bushes, getting cut up all over.
What would drive someone to do that?
I'm not sure yet. There's also a tape about a toxicology report. There were no signs of drinking or that he was on anything.
What? But everyone said he went swimming drunk and drowned. It was in the newspaper and everything.
I found a tape that introduces a new detail to the story. Post-mortem injury. Apparently, his arm got caught in a car door.
A car door?
Yeah, after he died. How do you suppose they can tell?
How can they tell? I'm a radio producer, not a coroner.
I think I found Clive's last recording. I think Clive might be gone.
Gone?
I found a confession. Not for any killings, but for playing a part in covering up George's death. He left this behind in case he died. He hoped someone would find it.
Do you think the Whistling Man already got him?
Possibly. We've had a lot of callers tonight, but maybe not every victim made it to the phone, you know? We don't know how many there really are.
Christ, Forrest, that's dark.
I know, but Clive said he had read about other murders in other towns, and that the murders were all folks who knew about the incident. And the killings were getting closer to Gallows Creek. He said he wanted to do something good for once.
The board in his office. He wasn't tracking people down to kill them. He was tracking them down to save them. Ugh, why didn't he just come out with all of this?
He said his employer threatened his family if he spoke out about any of it.
His employer? The one who orchestrated the cover-up? Oh, Clive. I'm sorry for thinking you'd killed all those people. Do you think you found everything, Forrest?
I think there's got to be more down here. I need to find all the tapes.
You think so? How much did Clive hide down there? Well, if there are more tapes, then there must be more maps to follow, right?
That seems to be the case.
All right, then. Buzz the intercom when you find something and want to discuss it. Do you think you found everything, Forrest?
I think there's got to be more down here. I need to find all the tapes.
You think so? How much did Clive hide down there? Well, if there are more tapes, then there must be more maps to follow, right?
That seems to be the case.
All right, then. Buzz the intercom when you find something and want to discuss it.
It is the coroner's opinion that the subject likely feared for his life and was chased, resulting in a fall from a height into a body of water, where he hit his head, was knocked out, and drowned. Following that, he was moved.
Now this has to be important.
That recording. Shut it off.
What have you found, Forrest?
In another tape, the coroner comes to the same conclusion as I did. George was running from something.
Maybe an animal?
Maybe, but then there's this next bit, where the coroner thinks he was moved post-death.
Moved the body? How weird.
At the end of the tape, someone burst in and demanded the doctor, Dr. Sullivan, to stop recording.
Dr. Sullivan. Wait, Virginia Sullivan? She was her caller from earlier.
Well, then our caller was involved in a conspiracy around this boy's death. If only she had made it. Then we might have learned more about what's going on.
It's okay. We did what we could. The takeout idea was a long shot as it was.
I found a written autopsy report.
What does it say?
According to that, it's just like you said at the start. George drowned after getting drunk. Said he liked to fight, too.
But that contradicts the tape.
I know. And I think I know why. There's a note with the report that says, "I'm sorry I made you do this, Virginia."
If it was on the autopsy report, then Virginia must be our coroner. Wait, the caller from earlier, when we had to call the takeout restaurants, wasn't her name Virginia? Do you think you found everything?
I think so.
Forrest, what's going on here?
Someone wanted that boy's death to seem like an accident. And they hired Clive to make it look that way.
Come back upstairs when you're ready. We need to figure out our next step.